I love traveling and seeing all the different parts of the country. I live in New York. There's no value to your doing that at all. I live in New York. There's this old lady in my neighborhood, and she's always walking her dog. She's very old. She just stands here just being old. And the dog just fights gravity every day. Just the two of them, it's really, the dog's got a cloudy eye, and she's got a cloudy eye, and they just stand there looking at the street in 2 dimensions together. And she's always wearing like this sweater dress. I guess it was a sweater when she was like 5'10", but now it's just like this sweater. And her legs are a nightmare. They're just white with green streaks and bones sticking out, and her legs are awful. I saw a guy with no legs wheeling by, and he was like, ugh, no, thank you. I do not want those. I'd rather just have air down here like I have than to look down at that. I see these two all the time. And I always look at them and I always think, God, I hope she dies first. I do! I hope she dies first for her sake. Because I don't want her to lose the dog. I don't think she'll be able to handle it. If the old lady dies first, I'm not worried about the dog. Because the dog doesn't even know about the old lady. This dog is aware of 3 inches around his head. He's living in 2-second increments. The second he's in and the one he just left is all he knows about. But if he dies, this lady, she's gonna be destroyed because this dog is all she has. And I know he's all she has because she has him. If she had one person in her life, she would not keep this piece of shit little dog. Even if just some young woman in her building one morning were to say, "Good morning, Gladys," she'd be like, "Oh, good," and just flush him down the toilet. Dog just keeps bumping on the drain. She gives up. Ends up just on her dog for the rest of her life. I can't smoke pot because it's the same thing. I'm too old for it. Sometimes young people come up to me after shows, "Hey, do you want to smoke some pot?" I'm like, "Can I get my portion to smoke without you alone later? Because I don't want to stand in a parking lot with some 20-year-olds. Last time I got high, I was in Kansas City, and I got high because I was in Kansas City. So after the show, so these kids that worked at the club, they're like, "You want to smoke some pot?" And I'm like, "Yes." So I'm standing in a parking lot with these kids, like 20 years old, and we're smoking a joint. And I'm taking huge hits because I had no idea. I didn't know they'd been working on this shit like it's the cure for cancer. I didn't understand the technology that's gone into making pot so powerful. Because when I was a kid, you could just smoke a joint for a while. Now you take 2 hits and you go insane. It's not doable anymore. And I was taking big hits, like big 1970s jean jacket, Bad Company hits. Here come the jesters, 1, 2, 3. It's all part of my fantasy. And I'm like, yeah. And even the kid with the wooden hole of no ear, the absence of flesh in his ear with the wood, I don't know what that is. Even he was like, "That you should be careful, that's a lot of pot. That's very strong marijuana." Yeah, I'm fine. Running with the devil, just and in about 10 seconds, everything just and I'm like, oh, this is an ordeal now. I'm not gonna feel okay for a very long time. And everybody's just standing around and talking, and I'm hoping, like I'm really hoping that I look like this. But I'm pretty sure that I was just scanning insanely. I was actually counting, like, look at her for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch to him. 5, 4, 3, 2. Randomize. Don't go in the same direction. 5, 4, 3. Nod your head. That looks like you're listening if you nod your head. Ha ha ha. And at one point I realized I need to get out of here because the air is hitting my arm weirdly and they can tell. They totally know that I'm not handling the way air is touching my arm right now. Why am I doing that with my hand? That's weird to do that with your hand. Nobody stands like this. Nobody stands like this. Just no, that's also, that's weird too. That's crazy. Just, shit. I gotta go. But I didn't know how to leave. Because I had this dilemma. We're all standing in a perfect circle, facing each other. And I thought, it's gonna be insane if I just turn I'm one person with my back now. Do I just back away like this and hope that they fill in? And then I thought, no, say something. Say something out loud to them that smooths the transition of you leaving. Okay, what do I say? Pick a thing to say. Goodbye. That's a nightmare. That's just goodbye. That's not even, that's just noises. Finally, I walked away and I said, I'm leaving! And I know it was that bad because they all went, oh, okay, all right. Whoa. I was like, I'll never see those people again as long as I live. And then I had to get in the car. I forgot that I had rented a car and I have to drive back to the hotel. And I'm driving on this highway in Missouri. And at one point I realized, I think it's been about 25 minutes since I looked out the front window of this car. I've just been dealing with directly in. Shit.
The hardest thing about having kids is just the days that you spend with them. That's really the hardest part. It's just every day that you have them is the hardest part of having kids. It's just every day. It's getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, which, first of all, I'm not that guy. 6 o'clock in the morning. I have blown off entire careers because of one day I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, oh, I'll just not be that then. I have to, first of all, I got to get them dressed. That's number one, because that's the one that people will notice. That's the only one. If that's the only one that I get done, I'll be okay. Because I can't, if I show up with 2 naked kids, I'll go to jail. So I have to, but I can not feed them. They're fine. I ate. They're just a little tired. It's fine. And then I got to get them to school, which means walking. The older one goes to kindergarten. It's 3rd grade. Jesus Christ. I just said kindergarten, and she's in 3rd grade. You know what's even worse? She's not. She's in 2nd grade.
Anyway, so yeah, wolves are like dogs.
Thank you for asking.
Every day you spend with your kids is torture. And it's because I love them. If I didn't love them, I wouldn't matter. I just play poker with my friends, come home later, oh, they're dead. But I love them. I wiped my daughter's ass for the last time on May 13th of 2008. And I remember this moment because it was a big moment in my life. Because when you have children, they start as babies and they all over the place. But then finally they can use the toilet, but they can't wipe their ass. So you have to wipe their ass. That's the last thing you do for your kid. It's like an intimate bathroom thing, is wipe their ass. And one day it stops. And I remember the day I said the date, but I don't remember it now because I'm lying. Because I had always wiped her ass all that time, and it's just a thing you do. I didn't even think about it. She said, Daddy, I need a wipe. And then I come in, I'm on the phone, like, yeah, okay. Anyway, so I wiped her ass one day, and she said, thank you very much, Daddy. And I was like, that was a little too eloquent. A thank you for somebody who I just wiped out of her asshole. I want to hear like, thank you, Dada. I don't want to hear like, that was very gracious of you, Father. So I got 2 kids, 5 and 9, and I love it. I love having kids, but it's hard. It can be very difficult. One thing that's difficult is that they are very different ages, 5 and 9, very different developmental stages. And I have them to myself when I have them. My ex-wife and I split custody. I'm with them half the week. I have to find things that the 3 of us can do together. Now, my 9-year-old can do a lot. She's got a lot of skills, a lot of things she can do. The 5-year-old, not much good at anything, really. And that is not to put her down. She's 5, but she's at pretty much everything. So we can't do things that outclass her abilities. So we have to be all dragged down to her skill level. We're like 3 5-year-olds of different sizes, basically. Because nothing. Let's go for a bike ride on the river. I'm not very confident on my bicycle. Okay, let's just sit and play the card game where no one loses. We went swimming one time, the 3 of us, and that was a nightmare because we're in this pool, there's a deep end, there's a shallow end. The older one is in the deep end, the 9-year-old. She's having a ball, but she's lonely. Who wants to swim by themselves? She's in the deep end doing flipper tricks, and she's like, Daddy, swim with me. And I can't. Because I'm in the shallow end with a little one who's clinging to my leg in fear. Don't put me in the water. I'm like, it's to your tits at the highest. Just stand there. It's fine. No, I'm going to drown. There's sharks. Why would I lie to you? Really? I would put you in and go, ha, you're drowning. I tricked you to death. Really? I'm gonna do that? If I wanted to kill you, I'll wait till you're asleep and go like this for 4 minutes and it's over. Okay? That's how easy it would be to kill you. You should thank me every morning you wake up alive. That's how easy it would be to kill you. I know how to look after you! I'm good at it! You're not dead yet! I love that kid. I love that kid to pieces. But I wish he was never born. That's how it feels in certain tiny moments. Any parent who is honest will tell you that you live with that ambivalence. You just have it. You look at the face of your beautiful, lovely child, and you think 2 things at the exact same time. I love this kid so much that it's changed my whole life. I love other people more because of how much I love her. I love people that had died years ago more. Like my love has traveled time because of how much I love her and she loves me back. She's completely given value to life that didn't exist before, and I regret every decision that led to her birth. That's how it feels.
Daddy!
Hey.
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why are you awake?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry.
Daddy, can we go out to breakfast?
You want to go out to breakfast now?
You had a bad night.
What the dude?
Louis a weirdo on his show.
You think he's a weirdo?
Like
He's a
that
weirdo in real life.
I know. Yeah,
What?
but that character on the TV show is a weird guy.
You think?
It's a weirdo. Yeah.
Louis a weirdo.
Weirdo. I love that word.
I don't like that I can relate to him, man.
He's a weirdo.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, I'm a weirdo.
What did he say about the motorcycle episode air?
That's
E-Rock?
right.
Was that the first episode?
I probably did, because I think 4 episodes are already gone, so...
And now we could talk about the fact that his ex-wife is black out of nowhere, even though his kids are white. No one wants to talk about this?
I haven't seen it. Yeah. I think we did, didn't we?
No,
Did
we
mention it
didn't
on the air?
talk about it because no one saw the episodes yet. That was one of our
we
spoilers.
did spill the beans.
In season 3, he's talking to his ex-wife. She's on the phone as Louis is having conversations, and she's black.
Interesting.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Well, that's why I want him in here. I want to talk to him about this stuff. I also want to talk to him about the motorcycle episode because he filmed all over New York on a motorcycle. I want to know how hard that is to do. How do you do that?
Very hard to get permission.
And then you got to get some people off the road for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Louis will be in soon, I'm sure.
Louis.
But he was on The Daily Show last night defending Daniel Tosh, and he had a great angle on this whole thing.
I want to hear this.
And so I was in Vermont, and I was watching TV in a hotel room, and Daniel Tosh's show comes on, Tosh.0, and it's making me laugh. It's a funny show. So I wasn't reading the internet at the time, because that's how I go on vacation. I really hate the internet, so I just stopped reading it. But I'm watching TV, and Tosh is making me laugh, so I wrote a tweet saying, your show makes me laugh. And then I put it down, and then 2 days later I come home and I read these bloggers and Hollywood Reporter, Louis C.K. defends Daniel Tosh amid rape joke controversy. I had no idea. He got in trouble for making some jokes about rape.
Whoa, wait a minute. So when he tweeted, he had no idea what was going on? He was just commenting on the show?
That's what he said.
Because I read that tweet, and I just assumed he was sticking up for Daniel Tosh.
Hey, I saw your show. Really funny.
Can we find that tweet from Louis C.K.?
He puts the tweet right in the middle of the controversy.
Right, all hell's breaking loose, and he just happens to be... I did not know this. He got me, too. Go to Louis' Twitter. So he's on vacation. He turns off the internet. He has no idea Daniel Tosh did the rape thing, and he's watching the show.
Yeah.
Okay, and said, oh, this guy's funny, or this show's funny, and he tweeted about it. That's great. You got it?
No, it's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
It's gone.
Well, it goes back a while, probably.
This is June 27th. That was before the controversy.
Damn.
Did you take it down? It's gone.
I wonder what that's all about.
Maybe he explained it.
Sam, comment.
Oh. Yeah, maybe he does explain
You're
it.
up, comment.
For making some jokes about rape, and I didn't know about it. And so I'm a defender of rape. That's what everybody says now. And I've read all this stuff like, shame on you, Louis C.K., and I'll never watch your show. You're a rape apologist. I've been called a rape apologist because I said hi to a guy.
Wow. Yeah, I was tricked by that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that tweet.
Yeah, I thought he was defending him.
Yeah, I did, too. And
which is fine.
And, in his way.
Defend the guy.
This is like a fight between comedians and bloggers, that's where all just hyperbole and garbage comes out of those two places.
Sure.
It's
all
also
very similar groups.
Yes. Just uneducated, unfettered, just
say whatever pops into your head, like bleh.
Yeah.
And you do it for hummus.
It's also a fight between comedians and feminists, which are natural enemies, the biggest, easily, because stereotypically speaking, feminists can't take a joke, and stereotypically speaking, and comedians, see? And comedians... And on the other side,
to send you back to Vermont right after the show.
On the other side, comedians can't take criticism. Comedians are big pussies.
Yeah.
And they can't. So to one side you say, if you don't like the jokes, stay out of the comedy clubs. To the other side you say, if you don't like the criticism, stop Googling yourself every 10 seconds. Just nobody's making you read it. It's positive. Good. To me, it's all dialogue is positive.
Wow.
That's good shit, man.
Yeah. Good shit right there, right?
Yeah. A lot of, you know what it is? A lot of comics were saying stuff about it. And they were the ones that made the most sense. Mm-hmm. I know, a lot of people think, they have an interest in it and stuff for their own line of work. But they were the ones that actually were making sense. The people that were pissed at it, just talking out of pure emotion and sound like
What was Gilbert Gottfried's angle? He had an article yesterday.
Oh, he did?
I didn't read it. I heard it was good.
Yeah, he was tweeting it like crazy. He was very proud of it.
Well, I don't go for his humor either with the whole getting fired from the duck voice for that whole Japanese thing.
Oh, I didn't go for that with the water went all over the people's feet and shoes. I didn't like that.
But now my kids, I take them everywhere. I'm responsible for every second of their lives. I'm with them all the time, watching them do their thing. I take them to soccer. Yeah, you're playing soccer. You're playing soccer right now. I know you're playing. Are you done? Okay, let's go over here. Was that fulfilling? Was it strengthening and confidence? Like you have to do everything with them. And I have two kids, a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and when it's just the three of us, it can be challenging because they're very disparate skill levels. The 8-year-old is blossoming. She can do all kinds of stuff. The 5-year-old is not good at anything. I mean, she's 5. She's appropriate at everything for a 5-year-old. But what that means is that when we go out together, we have to choose that she can do. We're all brought down to her level. We're like 3 5-year-olds of different sizes, just doing boring 5-year-old shit. It's limiting. Hey, let's go for a bike ride. I'm never very confident in my bicycle. Oh, fine. Let's just sit here and look at each other then. Is that? Jesus. We went swimming once, the 3 of us, and it was torture because the 8-year-old is amazing. She's swimming and she's in the deep end. And she's swimming alone. She's lonely. She's, Daddy, please swim with me. I'm like, I can't because this one won't. We're in the shallow end. And she won't let go. She's like, I'm going to drown. Just, it's to your tits. Just please stand there. It's nothing. It's too deep. What, really? What? Like, I would just go, haha, you're dying now. That's funny to me. Like, really? If I wanted to kill you, I'd wait till you're sleeping and do this for 4 minutes. That's all it would take. You should thank me every morning you wake up alive. That's how easy it is to kill you. So why would I take you to a swimming pool in the afternoon to murder you? It's just hard because that one can't. She's nothing. Please. I wish I could. I wish I could say, you know what? Can you get out of the pool so I can go be with my friend who I have in common with? Do you have to ruin every day of our lives? No, that kid was a bad idea. I'm serious. And I love her. I love her. But I wish she was never born. That's just, this is... Any honest parent will tell you that they live with that ambivalence. And it's torture. You look at your beautiful child's face and you have 2 feelings at the exact same time. I love my daughter in a profound way. I cry at the drop of a hat when I think about her. This kid has made me love her so much that it's made me more able to love other people. I can love people that are dead that I didn't love properly. Her love for me makes my love transcend time and travel through space. This kid is amazing. You cut a tomato on a plate and she smiles like you just adopted her from Zimbabwe or something. She's an amazing creature of pure beauty and love, and I regret every single thing that led to her birth. That's how you feel. Because it's hard. If you're really putting the time in as a parent, there's no parent that's really raising their kids who hasn't given the finger to the back of their head at least 3 times by the time they're young. That means you're really doing the work. If you haven't done that, you have nannies and shit. You're not a dad or a mom. Good night, sweetie. Okay. Light of my life. Light of my life. Light of my life. Light of my life. I think that, you know... I think one of the advantages to having kids is that they just cheer you on. Like, I have eaten my whole life, and my kids just think it's hilarious. They don't care. They're like, Daddy ate 40 cookies! They just think it's the funny thing.
Part of being an artist is you get fed up with yourself, so you just go, I might as well really talk.
Right.
You lose the comic rhythm, and you start getting actually funny and getting
the need to crush. The need to crush.
And I think getting back to our subject, that's happened in some degree with this filmmaker, because he started with the Hard 8 just going like, here's how my voice sounds. Here's how I look at things. Here's how I film stuff. Here's how I use music and cutting. And and what he had underneath that grew and grew over time was the ability to have actors live with a really sad, just a tragic sadness, and to see the value in actors that weren't exactly kicking ass in other areas yet. And then Boogie Nights was his, like, I'm in Hollywood and I got Marky Mark and I got Burt Reynolds and I'm going to make this John Holmes movie. And the whole second half is going to be so dark and violent and it's going to be a mess, man. And the first half of it is just beautiful to me. That's just my feeling. Yeah. Second half, I just didn't care about. but I knew I was watching a guy who's extremely special and learning. But he only got richer and richer and richer after that.
But there's also one beat that you have, after the first encounter with the African American woman who you don't know, what she is.
Yeah.
When she leaves and you have that moment before you walk in the bedroom, I don't want to give it away because it's so clearly a comic moment.
Right. That's right.
After
she leaves?
Right. And Edie Falco comes in.
Yeah. So she, here's the thing with that one was a good case of where I felt the story was being told to me rather than me telling it.
Yeah.
Because the point of that to me was Horace hooking up with somebody. One night stand. And the one night stands in life that are very mutually
good.
Yeah, and also mutually negotiated. Yeah, everybody's cool with what's going on.
Right.
And that when she wakes up the next morning and goes and she's just like, I didn't mean to stay over. And Horace says, have some eggs. And she says, and then I'm leaving. And Horace says, yeah, please do. And then they're able to sit together because they both know no one's going to get snarled here.
But then you get into that conversation that you have, which I've never seen it played that way.
Well, because I thought what's interesting, once I got them sitting down, I didn't know what I was going to have them talk about, but I thought, here's an interesting thing. Two people who have been intimate, which means they can tell each other something.
Yeah.
But they have negotiated we are never going to see each other again.
Yeah.
Which means they can tell each other things without fear.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Right.
And I thought, Horace is a guy who, if you ask him 3 questions about his life, you find out something terrible.
Yeah.
That's a f***ed up way to go through life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you got, just questions that have nobody, and they're eating eggs. They don't really even want to talk.
Yeah.
You got, are you married? No. Divorced? You have kids? Yep. 2. Yep. Really? How old are they? And then it all comes out.
Yeah.
You can't even answer that question for Horace without this horrible truth coming out.
Yeah.
And so he tells her, and to me, that's what the scene was about. It was about that. And then I started to figure, okay, well, then we'll start landing the scene by talking about sex and just that she enjoyed it, he enjoyed it. You have a nice dick. Thank you. You have a nice D. Thanks. It's right. I had to put it where my dick used to be. I had to make that joke.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
Yeah.
And then I went, And as Horace in my head, I was like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then the conversation took off from that. I didn't know the scene was going to be about that. I didn't intend to write that scene. I really didn't. And then once I started having that conversation with myself in my head, about halfway through, I talked to Vernon about it. And he said, well, wait a minute, though. If someone is transgender, they have to tell their partners. And I was like, really? They do? And then I thought, that's so interesting that he thinks that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. So I had that out in the conversation.
Right.
But I got to give Vernon credit because when we shot that scene, it was intense.
Yeah.
And the last take we did, I thought we were done.
Yeah.
I was like, we did it. And then Karen Pittman, who played the woman, said, I'd love one more. And I said, you don't need one more. She said, I don't think I have it at all. And I said to her, I don't need you to feel satisfied like as an actor.
Yeah.
You gave it to me. She said, just let me do one more. I said, all right. So we did it. That's the one we used the last one that she wanted.
Yeah.
And it's far better than the one previous. So she gets credit for that. But right before we did it, there's something I've started to do in directing when I'm in the thing.
Yeah.
If you're doing a last take, it feels like a last take, do something that the person didn't expect. Like walk towards them when you haven't for 5 takes or go walk over and like put your hand on their shoulder, something that makes them do something really honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, he got in my ear and said, you should say this one thing. And he fed me that line right at the...
Which one?
Right before the one you're talking about, the thing I say to you. Anyway.
Yeah, because it was like in the way you structured this show. Even if something's funny, you're not writing jokes. There's no, it's not.
No, there's none. It's all just mechanics of the story, and then it's these feelings. And I kept getting blindsided by feelings, like in that scene. So Edie wasn't supposed to be in that scene.
Yeah.
But there was this thing where she's got cancer.
Yeah.
And there's a timeline to her cancer.
Right.
And I'd been talking to Edie about that kind of stuff, and so I said to her,
is that the scene where she tells you she has cancer?
It's the scene where she tells me she's healthy, that she got a good a card of,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So I said to her the day before, hey, you know what? You're not supposed to be here tomorrow for the Karen Pittman scene, but come anyway.
and come in at the end and tell me that you're cured.
Yeah.
And I just figured it's a story point.
Yeah.
And I'll go, hey, terrific.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, how do you want me to say it? I'm like, just however you would say that.
Yeah.
That you got good news.
Yeah.
And she goes, all right. So I forgot it. I forgot I told her to.
Yeah.
I honestly forgot.
Yeah.
Until we're shooting the first. I think we didn't do any rehearsals of that. Because when we rehearsed the scene, I didn't have that in it.
Right.
So we're shooting the scene with Karen Pittman. And then she's about to leave. And Edie walks in. And I forgot that I told Edie to be there. Even.
Yeah.
And then it's like weird because she's there with this woman I was just with.
Yeah.
And then the Karen Pittman leaves. And I go to Edie and she looks weird.
Yeah.
And I'm really in a real place.
Yeah.
And I said, what's up with you? And she says, I've got good news. And I go, what? She says, I'm okay. And it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
I never experienced something like this. She said this thing to me, and I was like, that's my sister. And I was afraid to even consider the possibility that she was dying.
Right.
And she's going to be okay. And now I'm upset that she was dying.
Yeah.
It hit me so hard. I mean, I'm getting emotional now.
Yeah.
I lost it.
Yeah.
I just like, I started to cry, and then I wanted to hug her, and I thought, I can't, she's not like that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Sylvia doesn't like to be hugged.
Right.
So I just kind of stood there, and she stood there kind of gasping.
Yeah.
And then we hugged awkwardly.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then that line that Vernon gave me was just perfect. It was perfect.
It was a pretty outstanding line.
Yeah, no, it was great.
It
So
was a hell
that
of a line.
that was another time I got really hit hard.
Well, I saw you going through it, but do you feel...
Okay. Tell me about the episode 7, I think it was, about a transgender dialogue. I mean, the dialogue is fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you know, you wrote it.
Yeah, well.
Tell me about it.
Well, that...
Any reason not to tell me?
No, I'm just trying to think of what to say about it. When I wrote that, I didn't expect that to happen in that story. To me, that story was about Horace confesses something to her first.
Right.
About his life, something very shocking.
Right.
And to me, that's what that scene was about. Initially, that's why I wrote the scene, was that...
Horace confesses to this girl.
Because they have a one-night stand.
Right.
So they have an immediate intimacy. And then the next morning, they don't want to look at each other, which is how people sometimes feel in the morning.
Right, yes.
But he invites her to some eggs. Sit down and have some eggs before you. And she says, I don't want to be here. And he says, I don't want you here. So they have, they're safe with each other because they both know that they don't want anything, they don't want to see each other again.
Right.
So now
therefore they can be more truthful.
That's what it is. More truthful than they are with someone that they have a future with.
Right.
So she asks Horace about his life, and he has a very shocking detail about his life. And he just goes ahead and tells her, because it was easy to tell her. And to me, that's what I sat down to write.
Yeah.
And then I had her tell a joke. He says, I mean, you're not going to be able to air this, but he says, you have a nice pussy. And she says, yeah, I put it in myself where my d used to be. And I just have her tell that joke. Now, you're not going to be able to use that, but she makes She makes this joke. And he laughs, and then I felt like I was in the room with him, and I felt like, what if she's not kidding? What if she's kidding, but she wants to toy with him more on the subject? And then I just started to trade lines down this road. That he finds himself in this situation, and then she's interested in talking about this.
And he wants to know who is he slept with.
Did he sleep with someone who used to be a man? And she says, well, if I was transgender, wouldn't that mean I am a woman?
Yeah.
Aren't we all saying that when someone becomes transgender, I'm told 50-50 by people which one you're supposed to say.
Right.
That's a woman. Caitlyn Jenner is a woman now.
Right.
With all the rights of a woman and the yes and hooray, she's a woman. And it's not polite to say that's Bruce Jenner in a dress or Bruce Jenner who got an operation. That's Caitlyn Jenner, a woman. So if Caitlyn Jenner sleeps with a man, does she have to tell him I used to be Bruce Jenner? I think that's a really interesting, unresolved, for the average person who doesn't think about this kind of stuff all the time, which is what Horace is.
Yeah. In
the show, that's who I'm playing. A guy who's just got a myopic view.
that's a really uncharted wilderness. So I put him in that wilderness with somebody who had a little bit more, although I don't know in the end. I don't know if she's transgender or not, the character. I still don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Horace doesn't know.
But she
so
says to him,
what if I was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says to him at the end, I'm a woman. You slept with a woman.
Right, and then he goes one more time, who always was one, and she goes, so still don't know.
So he doesn't know.
Still don't
Which
know.
was a great device.
Yeah, and I also think that Horace is excited by the ambiguity. He asks her out.
Really?
Yeah, he likes it. I think Horace is a little bit turned on by not knowing what or who.
Whether he slept with a woman or a man.
I think he's excited by, especially by her command of the being able to stand on that shaky line. She's exciting him by toying with him. That's what happened in the scene. But I'm telling you all this from having watched it, not from having written. When I wrote it, I didn't know what was going on.
See, that's amazing me. You didn't have any idea.
I really didn't. I was like, what? Oh, then what? Oh, then what would he say?
Yeah, right.
And then
right.
he says it. And then what would she say? And then she says it, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy that she said that. Well, then Horace would ask this question. And then they just sort of talked. They talked in my head, and I wrote it down. That's what it felt like anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't always feel like that way writing.
Tell me who Horace is.
Huge advantage. A huge advantage.
And you know what? You
to
have
the point where it's criminal how great my life is. It's a global crime how good my life is compared to yours.
You have a slight niggery texture to your hair, too.
I know. It's a little niggery.
It has a niggery texture.
Well, I'm half
his
Mexican.
beard.
I'm half
really?
Yeah, I'm half Mexican.
Are
Yeah,
you
and
really?
that's how great it is.
Wow.
I'm half Mexican, and still I
And
get
you
all
are
the white guy
completely
perks.
white.
One of
All
your
the white guy
parents
perks.
is 100% Mexican.
My dad is Mexican.
100% Mexican. Wow.
Well, no, his dad is Hungarian, but my whole family lives in Mexico on my dad's side. He's not a citizen here. My dad's a Mexican citizen.
Holy
I didn't speak English when I was 7, 8 years old. I came here and didn't speak English. Spoke Spanish.
Now this is why wasn't this on the bio we got for you from Roland? Why did Roland send us a Louis C.K. bio, by the way?
His career back at least 6 years. You better be careful. Whoa.
It doesn't matter. I look white. It doesn't matter.
I thought he was a Mick.
I want to go see him on the stage.
Hey, I'm a beaner. Come on, hey. I am way more Mexican than Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, apparently so.
He's never lived over there. I lived in Mexico City.
You lived
from when I was 1 till I was about 7 or 8.
Holy shit.
Wow. And that's where my grandmother is.
You go down there
everybody,
still?
all my uncles. Yeah. My whole dad's side of the family is over there. So we go there, about once a year. My sister.
That is like
I don't go
Patrice
much.
telling me he's a f***ing Kennedy. I swear to God, it just... looking at
weird.
you, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
well, Mexico is made up of...
is for spick. He took the SPI out of it.
That's right. That's right.
Sneaky motherfucker.
I know.
It's Luis Spick.
It's Luis. That's what my dad's name is, Luis, with L-U-I-S. That's his name.
You mother...
Wow.
Holy shit, Louis C.K.
You are a counterfeit white man.
I am.
Very good counterfeit, though, because you
Excellent.
look so
One
white.
of the best.
He's the whitest in the
That's
room.
why I appreciate it. That's why I appreciate it.
Yeah, see? Look at that. He's living the life.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, man.
So awesome.
That is terrific.
Wow.
No, I went into a store the other day, convenience store, and I got a bottle of water, and then I walk around looking to see what else I want, and then I kind of space out, and I walked out with the water.
Oh,
and then I'm in my car drinking the water, and I realized I didn't pay for this. And I realized that's because I'm white. Because they looked at me, and they're like, he'll pay for something today. It'll even out. He's contributing to the economy. It's going to be fine.
When did you start saying I'm a white guy?
What?
At what age would you like, you know what, fuck it, I'm
People
white?
call me white. I don't know. I
But
look
I mean,
white.
at what point
well,
did
white is a shit identity. It's not a real identity. Because
But I mean,
I have nothing in common with other European white people, but...
I mean, at what point did you go, I'm not fighting to be Mexican anymore? Like, I'm not fighting for this whole Mexican thing.
What do you mean fighting for it? I mean,
Like when
Galamo? What the f*** is
when you're 8 years old, when you're 8 years old and you're not speaking English, you're Mexican. You feel Mexican. You identify with Mexican. At what point did you go, I'm now a white guy?
I forgot how to speak Spanish very fast. I mean, I still remember it. I still can speak a little. But I was young enough to just I adapted. I did what other immigrants do.
The
here.
second he crossed the Rio Grande, his fucking wet back and all.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hi, I'm white.
Hello, everyone.
I'm now a white man."
No, the thing is, I was white in Mexico. Here's the thing that people don't understand: is Mexico is just like America. It's made up of some black people and some white people and brown people. The only difference is they didn't genocide their Indians as well as we did. In the United States,
we got that job done.
Yeah, so that's why the face of a Mexican to most people, and also Mexicans. You meet Mexicans that look like me all the time, but you don't know they're Mexican when you're meeting them.
Fuck. Only
the brown guys with the push-down nose.
Bad things all the time.
You probably do.
I probably do.
People say, well, I live in L.A. for the last 5 years, and people say nasty shit about Mexicans to me all the time. All because they don't know I'm Mexican.
You go, yeah.
Louis goes, I agree.
Yeah, damn those Mexicans.
Holy shit.
That is wild.
See, but he's white.
But listen, my grandmother,
it is.
my Mexican grandmother, whose family has been there since sometime in the mid-1800s, there are Spaniards that came over. There are Europeans that came over to Mexico, and there is some Mexican Indian blood in us, and some...
Is that like black people, though,
my
saying they're
grandmother-
Indian, for Mexicans to say we're Spaniards? We're
No, it is.
Spanish.
There's some of the,
because black people like saying they're Indians.
No, rich
Our own
white
Earl.
No,
rich
that
white
only refers
rich
to,
Mexicans
like, hair quality.
Rich
Like,
Mexicans
if you
don't
have
like to
some,
say
you
that they're Indians. To be Indio is really dirty.
No, I mean like American Indian.
Oh yeah.
Like black people
But
like saying they were mixed with Sioux, and it's always Sioux and Cherokee.
That's only like a hair thing.
Really?
It's not a hair and skin thing, because it was always good to be like that lighter thing growing up, you know what I mean? And then you have the white people, straight white people hair.
Yeah.
So any black person with white people features, they'll say is
See, I barely make it into whitey. I'm barely white. I'm like too Italian because I'm Sicilian. So you know what happened. You watch True Romance.
Your
the Moors, great grandmother, which I don't doubt. I wouldn't doubt my great grandmother's just taking that black cock.
Othello was up in Miss Cumia,
just banging the fuck out of my great grandmother.
And Iago was like, "Get it, nigga, get it!"
Just conquered. My great grandfather just hacked with a machete. His body's laying there, and my grandmother's just being by some more black cock. I know what happened. She kept the
baby. She couldn't have hated it that much. She kept the baby.
That nigga had a Chesterfield right after.
That's it. I know my history, but as the years went by, I tried to whiteificate. My family whiteificated ourselves. Here in America,
just by skin. That is
trying to get that.
Despicable.
Yeah, we poured concrete.
That's right. Trying to work that grape soda out of your bloodstream.
I'm more American than Louis C.K.
Yeah, you are.
And he gets to live the American dream.
That's exactly right, because I look white. It's awesome. It's awesome.
This dirty wetback, his people up the spinach.
That's right.
Giving us E. coli.
And meanwhile, here's the spinach field. The hilarious part of it is that anybody who's black, you can almost guarantee their family's been here longer than anybody who's white.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because everybody who's white just got here. Black people have been, they built the country for free.
1600.
Built the country for free. And now they get.
Why do they do this to us?
Who would have thought that
you're black.
Radio show? Louis selling me on reparations.
Yeah.
I want to give you some money.
And it takes
my thing is
white Mexican man to make you see that's what you did to us all he did.
But my thing though is that if
the show would have got to this point where we're calling him a dirty Mexican.
I know. Louis C.K.'s a dirty Mexican, and I want to give the blacks reparations.
But here's the way I feel. If we're going to give blacks reparations, they should have to be slaves again. Like, if we're going to pay, basically we're paying them for the slavery.
Right.
Then they should
accept the slavery.
Is CK an
that's going to wash.
Is CK an offset of some...
It's Hungarian. My grandfather, this gets even worse.
Wow.
My Hungarian grandfather was Jewish, and he left Hungary because they were killing the Jews.
Yeah.
And he couldn't come to the United States because there was too many Jews going.
They weren't letting him. They turned boats away.
So he went to Mexico, and he met my Catholic Mexican grandmother, and that's the family I came from.
A Jew and a Catholic Mexican.
And he didn't tell her he was Jewish because he was so in love with her.
CK is just the first two letters of your whole last
It's pronounced
Jewish
CK, but it's spelled much longer.
Wow. Hey, here's some interesting news about the Jew thing. I do know where the term kike came from, by the way.
Derogatory term for Jewish people? Where that
I do know where that came from.
Where?
It is when people used to come over on the, in the ships on Ellis Island, a lot of people couldn't write English. So they used to make their mark, and the Jew's mark was a circle. And the circle is called keikel. So that's what they were just shortening it to kike. The guys coming in and say, here's another kike once they've seen the circle.
You know where nigger came from originally? There was some black guy being a nigger. So they called him a nigger.
Jesus.
He was being a real nigger, and somebody said, "What a nigger!" And that's where it started.
Nigger was a feeling.
Yeah.
just like this. Look at him just.
Yeah, it wasn't some wordplay.
Just blurting out a sound and it came out like that.
Just the guy was being such a nigger that it made someone say the word.
Oh my God, man!
Awful. Well, we're learning about derogatory terms and where they came from.
That's right. Wow, it's history. It's a really good history lesson.
I never knew that.
My daughter was having a dance thing at her school. They had this big dance. Anyway, we all went, all the parents, and everybody's there, and everybody's got their phone. Every single parent. It was an amazing thing to watch, because kids are dancing, and every parent is standing there like this. Every single person was blocking their vision of their actual child with their phone. And the kids, I went over by the stage, and the kids, there's people holding iPads in front of their faces. It looked like we're all in the witness protection program. Like, the kids can't see their parents. And everybody's watching a movie of something that's happening 10 feet. Like, look at your kid. The resolution on the kid is unbelievable. If you just look, it's totally HD. Why are you taping this? You're never gonna watch it. In a million years, you're not gonna watch videos of your kids do you missed the first time it happened. You don't watch it, you just put it on Facebook. Here, you watch it. I want to take a nap now. And then you get to read all the comments. Oh my God! It's so cute! And guess what? They're not watching it either. They're not watching the video. These kids are dancing for no one. Nobody watches the videos on your Facebook. They see the first frame of a kid and they go, that's very nice. Okay, back to this. Nobody's watching your kids' videos on Facebook, I promise you. I'll prove it to you. Next time you tape your kids dance, take 1 second of it and then add 20 minutes of just your own. Just go in the bathroom and just record your own anus opening and closing for 20 minutes. Tack it on to your kid dancing for a second. Put that on Facebook. Everybody will write the same thing. That's adorable. I think I see a future star. Don't tape shit on your...
Unlock the prisons, let them all out. Who cares?
So when we're gone, who takes over the world?
Whatever, animal, whatever bug.
Yeah, whatever's next, ants.
Well, what animal would it be? You think it would be some kind of bug?
Well, there wouldn't be one. There probably wouldn't be one.
There wouldn't be one with the divine Spock that we had.
I understand that.
Well, the dinosaurs had it.
But what?
I don't know.
What animal takes over? That's why I think it's creepy that we're animals.
Yeah.
But there's no second place.
There's no vice animal.
That's what creeps me out.
We don't have the vice president of humans.
We've had this discussion many times. That creeps me out. It's like, why isn't there someone in second place just kind of like waiting for us to F up?
That we look at like,
you're looking at it wrong, because you're picturing like an animal doing like kind of
a retarded human.
You're picturing
second place.
like an elephant in a suit, and now he owns the baseball.
But that's what we
an elephant in a suit.
But Louis, that's what we joke about. We're like, why aren't you taking a bus with I don't know, a squirrel or like some other.
Right.
Life form.
That's how we roll. But bugs are actually they have more run of the joint than we do.
Right. This place would look totally different, too, after a few years of no humans being around to maintain the roads and the buildings. This place would just look like a vined, overgrown mess that some other animal would
just take long.
No,
we're living on...
But doesn't it creep you out that there's nobody even near us as far as there's a massive drop-off?
We're actually...
massive drop-off.
Well, that's only if you measure us as the apex. That's
but all the other animals...
And say we're getting the most.
But Louis, all the other animals kind of live together, and they're kind of like
and they're doing
similar,
fine.
and we are the only ones that do not belong on this earth.
Well, this is how we survive.
Yeah, we're a little weird.
We were weak animals, so we built these. We have all right. So why aren't shelters and huts are just weird? They're huge and metal.
Why aren't the dolphins building stuff?
Because they don't need to. Because they survive.
Why hasn't one other animal built something that is like almost similar to what we do.
Even
But
close.
that's like an
even
lion.
the apes.
You don't even see one animal using something to get themselves around.
Well,
Like a primitive bike or something.
primitive
That means
bike.
they're going to see a monkey just driving a bike that
something.
came from like Gilligan's Island.
I think we come from somewhere else, and that's why.
Do you think so?
Yep. I think
Yeah,
we
he's a
come
very strong believer in that.
I think we just landed
Brought here, dropped off, never
Whatever.
belonged here.
If you start with an ape before there were us, and you just start and he just starts figuring stuff out little by little, you just get here. This isn't, to me.
But no other animals getting there.
Deal.
No other animals getting there.
That's not their way that they survive. Their populations are doing fine without all this.
They're all still. But they're all just kind of living in harmony with each other, just kind of using the basic.
Well, no, they eat each other, and
but they're using just the basic stuff. They're not really making anything that impressive with the basic raw materials. we got nuclear power plants. We got space shuttles way up there.
We harness the power of the atom.
Yeah, what are the giraffes doing? They're doing nothing.
Zebras aren't looking at us going, God, I wish I had a. I wish I had a Bentley.
But doesn't that make you think that they're not doing anything? They're not doing anything.
There isn't one other animal out there doing anything.
Every once in a while, an animal will make a pile of dirt.
We're amazed when a monkey takes a stick and puts it in a termite hole and pulls it out.
That's what,
he used a stick.
That's what creeps me out. There's no one even, no other animal out there is even close to us.
Nobody has.
Like you could have
nobody has a Barbie lunchbox. Nobody has
nothing. There's not one wallaby that is doing a morning radio show today.
Dude, we're building
There's not one hyena who has a Wii.
A Wii playing the Wii.
Who can play Halo.
I'm sure animals. Some would probably love playing the Wii.
Look at all the buildings outside. What is the rest of these animals doing? Nothing.
They're walking
a pile
around
of
eating
dirt
each
here
other
and there.
Yeah,
in a cave. They're doing fine.
Ope makes a good point on this one, Louis. We kind of are a little odd to this planet.
It creeps me out that there's a massive drop-off after us, and that's why I'm convinced we're just
I'll
not
tell you
from
what I
here
really
originally.
don't think is definitely what I think is definitely not the answer is that we're that God made us and made us special.
No, I don't buy that either.
I don't buy for a second.
I don't buy that.
No.
The whole story behind it is too fantasy-like.
Yeah.
There has to be, I want records. I want parchment records. I want the schematic that he used. Something.
I would just
we're an unchecked mammal. That's all. We're overpopulating. It's just
all right. One out of
needs us.
All right, one out of all the animals out there. That's creepy. Know how many animals, different animals there are out there? Not one. If you put us on a graph like what we've done and what everybody else does, they're all way down here. One's a little better than the other.
We have medicine. No other animal uses that. If any other animal gets sick or injured, they're dead.
That's right.
They're dead. We came up with medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Hope says, give me a close or even a distant second place animal.
Well, who's in second place? Seriously, humans
Who's in second?
And then who's?
Well, again,
I'd say
people would argue
I'd say the gorilla.
Or gorillas.
In technology and
chimpanzee.
In literature and technology, I think we're definitely a far first.
Literature?
Yeah.
Far first is not even another.
But as far as taking
not even
care
another
of
animal that can read a word.
But as far as taking care of ourselves and being healthy and sustaining as a species, we're not that much better than the other ones. The other ones are keeping their numbers fine, and they're probably more stable. They probably don't get the same diseases we do. Most of they just die of old age, a lot of those animals. They don't,
or something else ripping its throat out.
yeah, exactly.
Now,
I don't think there's a big problem with breast cancer among the raccoons. You know what I mean? I don't think that, I don't know, I could be wrong.
Not one other animal goes to school, goes to work.
That's right.
Nothing.
But I don't think any hippos have diabetes and are nearsighted.
And they're overweight.
Yeah,
right.
Good point.
We just come from somewhere else. It's time that we admit that.
The fan animal is panicking with the brakes.
All right.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm trying to remember. I was listening to you guys were cracking me up. I'm trying to remember what it was. You know, I can only listen. I have 2 cars. All right, whatever.
Want to get to each boat.
That's right.
That's right.
And this stupid company that you work for.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we don't.
You didn't even have to say that we work for. We knew what you meant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like you ever listen to Derek and Clive? It's Dudley Moore and Peter Cook.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep.
So there's this one where Peter Cook says, "I wrote to the head of the BBC." I just addressed it, cunt London. The greatest thing. So anyway, I have the first card. You know, when you buy a card, you don't decide what kind of radio you get. First of all, these are the same company. It's the same company. It's a merged two companies into one company, right?
Yes. I know exactly.
When you buy a car, you don't order the radio. You get a car that was already in the world. I don't think anybody on earth buys a car and then it gets made at the factory and sent to you, unless you're going to wait 6 months. So you buy a car, you give the dealer your specs, he finds an inventory car in the area. So it's arbitrary. It might be a Sirius radio. It might be. I don't know why they're different. It makes no sense that it's two different kinds of radios. All right, so you get your car, and the first one I got, it's got whatever. I don't even know which one are you guys supposed to be on.
I know. What are we? We're on XM, but we're also on the Sirius Best of package.
So I'm on I'm on the XM radio, and then I want to hear Howard Stern. I can't get them, so I call and they go, there's a premium package for the Howard. You have to pay more for Howard Stern. I'm like, but that guy owns half the company. I don't understand why that makes any sense. You merged, and I tell the lady that's ridiculous that I would have to pay more, and that I have to make this phone call.
Yeah,
not just the money, but that I have to go through this to get something that's in the thing. So she goes, well, we'll give you a month free. Because you're upset. So a month goes by, and then it shuts off. I'm like, I'm not going to do this every month. So then I buy a second car. And I get the car, and it's the other one. And I have Howard Stern, and I can't listen to Opie and Anthony, which I listen to every day. So I call them up, and I go, why? And she goes, because that's extra. I'm like, wait a minute. So they're extra. I have to pay a premium to listen to Opie and Anthony in one car, and a premium to listen to Howard in the other car.
How is this not a joke?
And I said to her, I own 2 radios of both services.
Yeah.
Which means I am paying a license fee already, a full license fee for Sirius and a full license fee for XM. You always brag that you can move your subscription from. Why can't you I would have to pay 2 premium fees to just listen to everything everywhere. That makes no sense.
None.
And she said to me, their contracts make it's in their contracts that
ours?
Yes.
No.
She said, the person who answers the phone
her.
said that.
She lied. We want to be talking to more people.
She said it's in your contract.
We're dying to be across the board. We're begging to be across the board.
I know, of course, I know that.
So many more people.
I know that.
Yeah.
So
we could double our audience.
And by the way, if I pay, so I said to her, so wait a minute, so those guys are getting extra money if I
oh my God.
So that would mean that you guys would get paid extra if more people sign up for the premium, which of course isn't true.
If they're going to lie about that, I'm going to say this: everyone that answers the phones at the XM Sirius customer service has molested children.
Yeah, you get to say it. You get to just say it.
Sure.
But here's what we just said about cable and how many ways you can get everything.
Yeah.
Every media company has to fight to be to make yourself a pain in the ass to use is the dumbest thing you can thing. Because I don't pay either premium service, and as soon as my contracts run out on both cars, I'm not going to listen to satellite anymore. I'm just not going to listen.
This isn't 8 channels on the old Zenith television where I have to get up to change it. If something's up, I'll go to something else in a second.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I'll plug in my iPod. I don't give a
should be as and that's exactly.
You have to make it as easy as possible. Everyone knows that runs
Let
a company.
Jimmy say something.
Yes. Music is good.
All right. Words of wisdom, Lloyd.
Yeah, music is on an iPad. The iPod. The one thing that keeps people listening to this type of is live talk, because you can't put that on your iPod.
And the amount of complaints we get every single day.
It's really dumb.
Our Twitter accounts get complaints all day long.
How long ago did they merge?
Years. We've been in the building 4 years, or at least 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And all those years they couldn't. How do they expect a customer to understand this?
It was a revenue stream that made sense for a while because they were getting extra money, but now it just doesn't make sense anymore.
No, and also, why are they entitled to that extra money if I can't decide which one I use?
Yeah.
I can't decide. It's totally up to somebody else what kind of radio I get. Because they're both, look at that, Sirius XM. Yeah. Is it a Sirius radio? No, it's a Sirius XM. That's what the company is.
It should be a Sirius XM radio.
You have an XM radio. Oh, so can I just, wait a minute, but it's Sirius XM.
are you doing? It's a terrible business model. It might make them a few extra dollars, but it enrages customers.
It gets everyone
And
all
it makes-
confused.
And they're never going to see how many people they don't get because they're difficult, or how many people actually allow their subscriptions to lapse for that exact.
No, this is what I always
reason.
like when I was in Australia.
K's going to be doing the One Traveling Virus this summer. We should have the dates soon, I guess. Soon. I think we're doing 8 to 10 dates this year. There goes our summer. But Louis C.K. is definitely going to be with us. That's very, very good news. We found that out this morning.
Gonna be a pisser.
And your wife wasn't impressed, you were saying?
Yeah, I came home and I showed her all these offers, and it's good. You guys are paying really good money. Like I don't have
care of the comics.
Yeah, I don't have a TV job right now, so that's my income.
Yeah.
And I showed it to her, and she's like, "Yeah, great. So you're going out of town, leaving me with the kids." I'm like, "Fuck you. How much money do you make?"
What are you pulling in this week?
Yeah. Would you rather starve to death and let the kids get skinny? You ungrateful cunt.
Now, the only way
who doesn't listen to XM?
She doesn't quite get the point that, this is your job. You don't go on.
And I'm remembering the phrase I was trying to remember. The separation of labor. Is that what it is? The division of labor contract has been thrown away in marriage.
Because I know where you're going to go with this, but I got to ask Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Like, when you married your wife, you were already in comedy, right?
Yes, I was.
So it's not like you were...
I didn't spring it on her. No.
It wasn't like you were working for Nassau, you had a 9-to-5 job, you were coming home, and she knew what she was getting into, that you'd be there to raise the kids. When you guys met, she knew you were a road comic.
Yes. But the way, it's not even that I go on the road. The point is that I enjoy my job.
Right.
So she thinks of it that because it's not like I'm going out and slack. She wishes I was doing a miserable job, and then she would be proud of me
Where you'd come home
for
and go,
debasing myself in order to put a roof over the head. But the fact that I do something that I'm proud of, that I love doing, but it still puts a roof over the head. But because women's liberation... because there are women that have careers, we're not allowed to say that we are providers anymore if you're a man. But the fact is, my wife lives off of my work and doesn't do shit. So if she had a career, then she could go, you with your Open Anthony tour. I don't care. I'm working too.
Yeah, I got my money.
But the fact is, she just eats food that I buy for her. But I'm not allowed to point that out, or else I'm a male chauvinist. Like I'm being a backwards pig by pointing out the fact, which is that if I stop doing these fun tours where I might get blown by a whore or two, that she can't eat. That she can't eat anything, because if she tried to start making she's worthless. She has no sense of she couldn't. She could never support our house. She couldn't do it. If we switched places, it would like some dumb sitcom.
You're right.
The kids would be very happy with me because I'm good at taking care of the kids, and
be the fun guy hanging around.
And my wife would be unable to
hold down the job.
She's never done it.
Really?
She worked at a Chinese restaurant for 1 week. And the woman who owned it, this Chinese woman, said to her, how come you so slow? And she said, because I'm busy. How many tables do you have? And she said, I have 3 tables. And she said, I think you may be Nobi waitress. And she fired her.
Wow. That's how you get fired in Asian.
Yeah.
By the way, I think you Nobi waitress.
I think you may be Nobi waitress.
You may be Nobi waitress.
Yeah, exactly.
I had
You know,
He has a competition in your brain. Good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully you win. Good thoughts and bad thoughts.
I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe, if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of
course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now. Do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're people, that we others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a Thanks a lot, folks. You guys are great. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
But I mean, in Iran.
Yes.
I've always been fascinated by it.
Yeah.
They make beautiful movies.
Yes.
There is a film there, I think it's called Cherry Tree or Sweet Cherry or something like that. And it's about a guy, I saw it years ago on VHS. It's about a guy driving around town, he wants to kill himself, but it's a sin, he can't do it. So he's driving around town asking people to kill him. And it's just that. It's like in real time. And it's a heartbreaking, beautiful, beautiful movie. We're sold this idea that it's this all over the world.
Yeah,
it's a very beautiful culture.
Right.
And we conflate them with it. They're not even Arabs. They're not anything that anyone thinks they are.
Right.
There's people there just like walking in the streets with no weapons, just trying to get rights now. Like that's a huge
and no
thing.
one here really cares.
No one gives a
No one cares.
All Iran has really ever said to the U.S. is just leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Get away from us.